What's up guys, my name is Blake Moore, welcome to More Finance, and in this video what I'm going to be doing for you guys is breaking down last week's income that I made. This is something that I wanted to start doing for you guys so you can see how many hours I'm working and see just how much I'm making every week and see where I'm putting my money so that for those of you new dashers out there, you can kind of gauge how much money you're going to need to be putting towards taxes, car maintenance, and how to get those numbers and all that good stuff. So we're going to be going over my last week's income. I did multi-app, so it's going to be over Doordash, Grubhub, and Uber Eats. And with that said, if you guys wouldn't mind just hitting that like button for me and also hit that subscribe button if you want to be entered into the giveaway that I'm doing for my subscribers for the month of July, where I give away 20% of the money I make from YouTube for the month. And also I'm going to be donating 10 cents per subscriber to the National Alliance on Mental Illness. So if you want to be a part of either one of those things, make sure you subscribe. Let's get right into this video. So last week I made $376.56 from Doordash. I made $244.81 from Uber Eats and $204.67 from Grubhub. So in total, that means I made $826.04. So when you're multi-apping, it is kind of hard to figure out exactly how many hours you worked, because all three apps are going kind of at different times. But I normally just go off of Uber Eats because that's the app I run almost all the time, because you don't have to schedule any shifts. You can just do it whenever you want. So that's usually the app I have running constantly. So I go based off of that. But this week I did do a shift without it, that 2-hour shift that you saw in the video where I only had the 31% acceptance rate. I didn't do any Uber Eats during that. So we went 28 hours from Uber Eats, and then I'm adding that 2 hours from that Doordash shift onto it. And we ended up working 30 hours, which means hourly we made $27.53, which is pretty good in my opinion. That's a well-paying job, and making $826 really just working part-time, not too bad. So next, let's go into the miles I drove. I drove 552.3 miles, and the way I track that is by using the Gridwise app. It's a really great app, and all you got to do is just download it. It's free, and then you just swipe a little thing and it starts tracking your miles, and then you just swipe it back and it stops tracking your miles. And after every shift, it'll give you the amount of money you can deduct on taxes and all that good stuff. So I highly suggest using that. That's how I do it. And because I drove 552.3 miles, that means I averaged $1.50 per mile I drove, which is really good. That's right where I like to stay, is $1.50 per mile. Anything above $1 is pretty good in my opinion, but I try and hit that $1.50, even try and get it to $2 per mile sometimes. But in my area, which is really spread out, sometimes that's hard to do. So because I drove 552.3 miles, I get a $309.29 tax deduction. And the way you figure that out is you take the miles you drove, times it by 0.56, and you'll get that number. And the reason you times it by 0.56 is because you get a 56-cent tax deduction for every mile you drive. So just keep that in mind. That's why you want to track your miles. So because I get that $309 tax deduction, I only have to pay taxes on $516.75 of the $826 that I made. So the way you get that number is you take the total amount of money you made and subtract the tax deduction from it, and that's the amount of money you actually have to pay taxes on. So from that, I usually save about 20% of my income towards taxes. So I take 20% of that $516 and I get $103.35. Now the reason I do 20% is because there's a 15.3% self-employment tax, and then state income taxes in Utah is about 4.9%. So I just save around 20%, and usually it works out in the end. After all is said and done, that's about how much I have to pay. So then my total after taxes is $722.69, which is pretty good. And because I drove the 552.3 miles, I know that my gas expense is $71.50. Now the way you get that number is you have to figure out how many miles your car can drive on a full tank of gas. Usually your car will tell you if you have a slightly newer car. If not, then you're just gonna have to test it out on your own. But my car gets 500 miles on a full tank of gas, and then next you have to figure out how much it costs you to fill up a full tank of gas. I know it costs me $65, so $65 is equivalent to 500 miles worth of driving. So then you have to figure out how many miles you drove, which for me was 552 miles. So I know that that's 110% of my full tank of gas, which means I times $65 by 1.1 because that's the equivalent of 110%, and I get $71.50. So you're gonna have to do that math on your own to get that expense, but that's how you do it. And then I put away 5% of my income towards car savings and maintenance, and that's 5% after taxes and after gas expense. So that's how I get the $32.56. And I would say about 3% goes towards a new car savings and about 2% towards car maintenance, oil changes, tires, all that good stuff that you're gonna have to replace on your car eventually. So that's how I do it. And then after all expenses are paid, everything, gas, car savings, maintenance, and I do my tax deduction, all that stuff, I ended up making $618.63, which means my hourly total after all expenses were paid was $20.62 per hour. Now that's a really high paying job in my opinion. A lot of people base their income off of their gross income, not their net. The $20.62 per hour is my net income. The $27.53 number is my gross income. So a lot of people base their income off of their gross income. Like when you go and ask someone, how much do you make a year? They say, oh, I make $100,000 a year. That's what they're grossing. That's not after taxes. And a lot of people don't have expenses they have to pay for like a Doordash driver would or a delivery driver would. So they don't count any expenses towards their income. So what banks will look at, and if you're ever trying to get a loan or anything like that, that's going to be your gross income, which is that number before any expenses or before any taxes are taken out. That's that $826 amount that I made for last week. So for those of you who are new Dashers out there, I'm going to be doing this every week for you guys. And for those older, more experienced delivery drivers out there who are watching this, hopefully this can give you some insight onto what I'm doing as well and how much I'm making, how long it's taking me to make that amount, and just give you guys some great information along the way. So leave a comment down below if you like this and like seeing how much I'm making every week, like seeing how much I'm putting away and all that good stuff, so that I know if I should keep doing these videos for you guys, because in my opinion, it would have been helpful to see a video like this when I first started out. So make sure you leave a comment, hit that like button if you got any information from this video whatsoever, or if it was enjoyable at all. Just make sure you leave a like, and also hit that subscribe button if you want to be entered into that giveaway that I'm doing for my subscribers for the month of July. As I said at the beginning of this video, I'm giving away 20% of my income I make from YouTube for the month. And also when you subscribe, you're going to be helping me donate 10 cents per subscriber to the National Alliance on Mental Illness. So if you want to be a part of either one of those, make sure you subscribe. And as you guys know, you're the best subscribers in the entire world, and I will see you guys next time.